And to Vlogmas day 9. Happy Monday to you. Are you all okay? Happy Monday evening to you. I have just got in from work. So I've only got one more day this week to do in the office, but I am thoroughly exhausted. So I'm having a nice hot cuppa. So cheers. Happy Monday evening. That's just what I needed. Right, tonight I'm just going to have a little chat with you because being at work today I haven't had a chance to film everything. So we've got a little pre-recorded Invisible Chef speciality for you, and I am going to chat to you tonight about some of my favourite Christmas movies, and I'd love to know what some of your favourite ones are too. First things first, let's do the advent calendar. So it is the 9th of December today, isn't it flying by? Oh, it's down here. A nice gold window today. Let me see what lovely fuzzy duck. Oh, frosted cranberry and gingerbread hand cream. There's been a couple of hand creams so far in this, which is great because my hands always need hand cream at this time of year because I do get very, very dry hands, but also, I don't know about you, but I'm a really big hand washer. I do need to use quite a lot of hand cream. But cranberry and gingerbread sounds up my street. Let's see. Ooh. Very festive, very, very smooth. I think that one is my favourite of the hand creams that I've had so far. But I've got one on my desk at the office. I've got one in my handbag. And that one, well, might keep that one by the side of the bed. It's lovely. Lovely. I'm really loving the Fuzzy Duck Advent Calendar this year. Anyway, let's get on to some favourite Christmas movies. Now, I can probably think of about, there must be hundreds of Christmas movies. There's probably about 100 really good ones. But one of my favourites has got to be It's a Wonderful Life with the incredible James Stewart. Now, it's a very, very old film. I think it was made in about 1946. It follows the story of a man who sort of feels like he's getting trapped in his home village. And all he wants to do is travel the world, see some exciting places. He doesn't want to get married. He doesn't want to get tied down. And various things happen throughout the course of his childhood and his early years that keep him in his hometown and he can't get out of it. And it's a bit slow to start. I'm sure most of you have seen it. If you haven't watched it, it is worth a watch. But it is a bit slow because it has to build up to the point, I think, of the film. So this goes on. Anyway, he starts to get, well, he gets married and he has lots of children. And then he suddenly feels trapped, like he's never going to get out of this village that he lives in, this little place. And his life is going nowhere. And he gets very depressed to the point where he's almost suicidal. At that point, he is greeted by a man who quite clearly is meant to be his guardian angel. And he shows him what life would like if he'd never been born. And when he goes through this process, spoiler alert, it turns that he realises he's got a magnificent life, a wonderful life, and he's very blessed for everything he's got. Everybody lives happily ever after. But as soon as the angel Gabriel, appears in the film, that's when it all gets sort of really warm, heartwarming and exciting, and it's just so lovely. It's a good one for Christmas Eve, or if you've got a day in between Christmas and New Year where you are just vegging out and you just want to sit on the sofa and really do nothing. It's a very heartwarming film, but it is quite long, but it's one of my favourites. And the other reason why it's one of my favourites as well is because my dad used to love James Stewart films, and he introduced me to a lot of James Stewart films when I was a little girl. So it was always something I used to watch with my dad. And I must find a photograph one of these days, but James Stewart also is the double, or was the double, of my late grandfather, my dad's dad. And so much so that people used to stop him in the street and think he was James Stewart, apart from the fact he had a Walsall West Midlands accent and not an American accent. But yeah, he was he looked very, very similar to James Stewart, and he was tall like him and skinny and lanky like him and all the rest of it. But anyway, my dad used to love James Stewart, so we used to watch a lot of his films together. So it's kind of sentimental. So definitely at some point over Christmas, I will be watching that film again for about the 50th time. Lots of people are really into the Die Hard films as well, particularly at Christmas time. It's not really my kind of thing, but basically it's about a New York City police officer who tries to save his estranged wife and several others who are taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party in Los Angeles. So if you like sort of fast-paced movies, the Die Hard ones are for you. Now, there are various Scrooge movies, I know. I do love to watch a movie about Scrooge because, of course, what's Christmas without Scrooge, unfortunately. Dickens' A Christmas Carol is also this same story. And actually, my favourite version of A Christmas Carol is the Jim Carrey version, which is an animated one from some years ago now. But I have to watch that over Christmas. It's one of my all-time favourites. And Paul, aka the Invisible Chef, he remembers A Christmas Carol, a version that had the actor Patrick Stewart in, and we cannot locate that anywhere. We've looked through Sky, we've looked through Netflix, we've tried to get it on DVD. So if anybody knows where we can watch the old Patrick Stewart version of Christmas Carol, that would really please Paul, but can't seem to find it anywhere. Of course, another firm family favourite is Home Alone. Home Alone is about an 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left home alone and must defend his home against a pair of burglars on Christmas Eve. This is one of Nancy's favourite. Nancy, aka Mom. And actually, I didn't realise it was one of her favourites until she watched it again here last Christmas, and she laughed her way through it. It is a really good family fun film. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have seen it. But again, it's one of those ones where I've got a free evening or a free afternoon or a bit of time over Christmas, and I just want to sit down on the sofa with my hot chocolate and a few chocolates or a few nibbles, sit and watch. Another one of my favourites, of course, is Miracle on 34th Street. And there have been a few versions again of this, but I'm very, very sentimental. And I do like the original 1947 version. But there's one that was made in, I don't know if it was the late 80s or early 90s, which is a bit of an easier watch. And I think if you've got young children, that version is the best one. I think one of my ultimate, if not possibly my ultimate favourite Christmas movie has got to be Elf with Will Ferrell. And if you haven't seen it, where have you been? It is hilarious. And it's quite an old film now, but it's basically about an oversized elf from the North Pole who finds out that his biological father is human and works at Macy's in New York. And he goes on an expedition to go and locate his biological father. And then he's got to convince him that he is his son, even though he's an elf. And it's really, really funny. And I love it. And again, it's one of those sit down on Christmas Eve and chill out ones, but super funny. Having been to London this week and been to Harrods, it was really nice to stand in front of the perfume counter that is quite famous, a quite famous scene in the film Love Actually. Again, one of my ultimate favourite Christmas movies, and it's got Hugh Grant in it and lots of other people, and I think it has probably got to be one of the top 10 films for Christmas of all time. Of course, if you do like the oldies, another one is the 1954 classic White Christmas with Bing Crosby. Another one of my childhood favourites that if I can get to see it over Christmas, I always make a point of watching, is Raymond Briggs's The Snowman. Now, The Snowman is all set on Christmas Eve, and a young boy builds a snowman that actually comes to life and takes him to the North Pole to meet Father Christmas. It is an animation. It was made in 1982. It's very old, and I remember watching it for the first time when I was 7 years old, mesmerised by it. And now one of my cats, Albert, weirdly, if ever you put that film on, he will sit in front of the television and watch it. It's only 20 minutes long. It's an absolute classic now. But my cat actually will sit for 20 minutes and watch it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the music in the background, whether it's the animation, the pictures. I'm not sure what it is, but he will actually watch The Snowman. And I still love it to this day. But as I say, that's just a very small list of the ones that I always watch. I always pick up on things like Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Wizard of Oz, you know, all the classics. I must admit, I am really traditional at heart, and I love to go back to the films that created my childhood. And I look back these days on my childhood Christmases as being amazing. And I think sometimes as a child, you can't and you don't take on board how special those moments are and that family time is. But watching films as a family and being able to remember them so many years later, but remember them with memories of the family or memories of what we were doing on those Christmas days and what have you, to me is incredibly special. And it just makes me feel very, very blessed, and it keeps my family that are no longer with me in remembrance over Christmas. And also, I now have children that are grown up, and I've shared all the films that I used to love as a child with them, and they still want to watch them now that they're adults going into Christmas. And it's just such a lovely thing, isn't it? What would Christmas be without a good old Christmas movie? Now, Nancy loves the American Christmas movies that are on most afternoons, which I don't get to see because I'm at work or I'm busy, but I think there's some on Channel 5 and some other, I think there's a whole Christmas movie channel on Sky, but she hasn't got Sky. But she watches the American Christmas films of an afternoon. And she said the stories are always exactly the same. It's always a complete disaster at the start, and someone's got to get away from their hometown, or somebody can't leave their hometown. And then it all works out in the end. They find love and it's all wonderful. But she said, I don't watch it for the story. She said, I watch it for the American houses and the beautiful decorations. And she's just mesmerised by them. So yeah, we do love a good old Christmas film in our house. Anyway, I'm just going to have a bit more of my hot cuppa while it's still hot. So yeah, thank you as well to all of you that are commenting every day on Vlogmas, and some of you, particularly my regular subscribers, my regular followers, are taking the time to comment on Vlogmas every single day, and I'm so grateful. And I just wanted you to know that I am reading every single one of them, but because I am so busy at the moment doing Vlogmas, I can't always respond to you at the moment. But please be assured that I am reading everybody's comments and passing on any messages you send for Nancy. She's loving it, I'm loving it, and we are both very, very grateful, as is Grace, who said thank you to everybody that commented on her little gingerbread making section. And also the Invisible Chef, Paul, who is working so hard doing his own thing and has also been working so hard to do these meals and to make these fabulous creations. And he is such a support to me throughout every day, but throughout Vlogmas. I'm not sure that this year I could have got through it without him. And he's been absolutely amazing. And of course, we get to enjoy all the amazing food that he makes. So it's absolutely great. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with another of the Invisible Chef's lovely Christmas dishes. Now, this is something we had the other day, and it's a perfect midweek kind of meal. If you want something a bit special, a bit Christmassy, but you don't want to really cook too much, or if you're having that time again in between Christmas and New Year and you just think, I don't want to cook today, but I want something tasty and nice, or you want to use up some bits and pieces, this is the perfect meal. So this evening's culinary speciality is actually off TikTok. I shall link these both down below, but talk about yummy. This is camembert garlic bread with honey glazed walnuts and bacon, and a savoury cheese and jam s'more dip. Perfect festive night food. And the s'mores dip you can either pop in the oven or in the air fryer. We did it in the oven. Talk about Moorish. Pleased you've been able to join me for Vlogmas Day 9. I'm going to go and have a chill out, and I might indeed watch one of those Christmas videos this evening. Stay safe, stay in the boat, keep doing all things good. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.